We go through this every year. You know perfectly well what holiday it is.
Okay. Happy Halloween, everybody. Whoopee.
Row 18, plot 20.
Everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. We got a little movie review for you, a spoiler-free movie review for a movie called Zombietown. This is a PG-13 2023 film, 1 hour and 32 minutes. It is R.L. Stine's Zombietown. There is another Zombietown that's a really older movie, but this is R.L. Stine's, and that's why you can imagine it's a PG-13. I've never read any of the R.L. Stine books or Goosebumps, never watched any of the movies, but this one, I was looking at the new release movies to go see, and this one kind of drew my attention when I saw Dan Akroyd and Chevy Chase in the cast, and also, let me see if I can, let's see, Dan Akroyd, Chevy Chase, Henry Czerny, R.L. Stine even makes a guest appearance, Scott Thompson, and Bruce McCullough. Do you remember the Kids in the Hall? Like, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Kids in the Hall. That was a hilarious Canadian-based, I think it was 4 guys, just freaking hilarious. Really loved it. Brianna Cotes, Kaylee Chase, Marlon Kazadi, and he played Mike. He was the main cast. And Maddie Monroe, I mentioned already, she plays Amy. Those are the 2 main kids leads in the film. This was directed by Peter Lepionotis. That's horrible. And also written by Michael Samanek, and Michael Schwartz. And yeah, just really kind of was interested to see what Dan Akroyd and Chevy Chase had left in them. They're getting toward the end of their careers, I would imagine. I don't know. I know Chevy Chase has been in some stuff. Dan Akroyd, big favorites from the old Ghostbusters days. So this story revolves around Amy and Mike unearthing a centuries-old curse when they decide to watch an exclusive film reel. The duo must track down an infamous filmmaker and navigate a town of hungry zombies to save the world. Comedy horror is what it's listed as. It gets a 4.3 on IMDb, but there's only a few reviews for this, so I think that's probably going to go up. This is a very family-friendly movie. It's got some fun moments. I actually had some pretty consistent kind of like laugh out loud to myself to moments. Seeing Bruce McCullough and Scott Thompson from the Kids in the Hall really was a super huge treat for me. They just had like these funny little scenes, and so the zombies are pretty uneventful. They're not frightening at all. You know, this is PG-13. I would say this probably could have even been just a straightforward PG. I'm not really sure what the difference is with the PG to PG-13. Maybe there was some cursing and I just didn't catch it because I'm so used to hearing curse words in movies. And the plot itself isn't even that original, you know, releasing demons from kids sneak watching a movie in a movie theater. It's been done a few times. But this is like that toned down kid version. But again, it kind of works. I enjoyed this movie. I was glad that I watched it. It had some nostalgic moments in it. It did have some parts, though, as an adult who likes pretty action-packed, gory horror movies. There were some parts that were pretty drawn out, and it was character building between Amy and Mike, their little story. And then there's just like their high school kids, so there's also the high school type drama that's thrown into the mix as well. But it's, I guess, a part of the character building. So, I don't know. Like, I hear other reviewers say stuff about that a movie didn't do enough to build characters character. It didn't move them along enough. Sometimes I don't know that a movie needs to actually have a character progress. This would be one of those. This would have been just fine if it had been like 10 minutes shorter and cut out some of the character building and the relationship device between Amy and Mike, because it's pretty understood. They do a good job of conveying that in the story, so you didn't really need like a big thing to do that. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, I there's some moments because it centers around this town's local movie theater, which is cool because I've lived in two different towns that have had like a locally owned single screen movie theater, and that's kind of cool. So I felt nostalgic with that, with this movie. And they at least twice had some like old-ish looking vintage movie trailers with voiceover, and Dan Akroyd provides that, and even the opening scene is like that. But if you're looking for a family film for Halloween, this is definitely one to check out. There's not a lot of that out there. There's no new Hocus Pocus this year. Spirit Halloween came out last year. So I would say that this is that answer to that. You can always go back to the old tried and true Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus, of course. And then you can, if you've worked Spirit Halloween into the mix, I think this would go into that too. You could do like a weeks-long binge with the kids and search this out on the streaming networks. I'm sure it'll be available by then. And it's Canadian, so go Canada. It's the Great White North, eh? So yeah, lots of silliness, not really a lot of scares, but just a fun movie. I'm not disappointed that I watched it. So if you've seen this movie, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, I keep looking at my notes and then I keep forgetting to say, like, the zombies they're zombies, but they don't really turn other people into zombies in the traditional fashion. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm just going to say it that way. It has to do with white light. So they build a story around that. It's kind of interesting, and it's got a history and a lore. But anyways, check this movie out. Let me know what you think, and leave a comment down below. And keep tuned to the channel every day in the month of October for spooky stuff.
Wow.